Ree here. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate all of you. Om Adyaye Namaha. Thank you so much for liking and subscribing. It really helps me a lot. Don't forget to check out my website, paradoxastrology.com. Book your consultation today. I can help you with anything. And if you would like more exclusive occult videos that I don't post on YouTube, consider subscribing to my Patreon. It also helps to support this channel. Okay, let's get into this video. Now, this is about the transit of Venus in Pisces, but just the first part of it. Now, this is my favorite Venus because this is my Venus in the first house. So if you want an example of Venus and Pisces in the first house, it's me. Now, I'm going to talk about Venus's transit mostly in Uttara Bhadrapada because what's going to happen is Venus is going to be entering Pisces on January 27th, and it will be there until May 31st. So that's a long transit. And that's very blessed because we have a mutual exchange between Venus and Jupiter. So Venus will only be in Purva Bhadrapada until January 31st. So only for a few days, which is a transformation. It's death, basically. So it won't be there for that long. So I won't talk too much about it, but it's a transformation of Venus. But we're going to go in depth to what happens when Venus is in Uttara Bhadrapada because it's going to be in there the longest, and I'll explain that. So Uttara Bhadrapada is the back part of the funeral cot. A funeral cot denotes our exit from this world. That's why it's the initial stage after death. Purva Bhadrapada is death, and then this is the stage after it because Purva Bhadrapada is more of the stage of dying. Now, this stage of death is like a deep sleep where we enter our unconscious mind. Now, there's a little bit of dreams, but it actually goes past the dream state. So it is likened to a deep sleep. This is why this is called the Yogi Nakshatra, because it's people who can surpass the physical world to achieve enlightenment. Through the activation of Kundalini, Shawtee, which travels through the energy centers all the way up to meet her consort Shiva. And it's ruled by Adhir Budhanya, which is one of the Rudras of the waters of the sky. Rudra is a form of Shiva, or some people call him Bhaiva. So it's the thunder and the lightning within the sky. There's themes about immortality, and with Rahu here, this can be using technology or AI. AI will definitely flourish as Venus will be acting like Jupiter here and expanding technology, which will take an individual away from the material plane. And the reason why it's going to act like Jupiter is because when we have a mutual exchange, then Venus acts like Jupiter and Jupiter acts like Venus. It's like having the planets in their own signs because Jupiter currently is in Taurus. So they're going to make this type of exchange. But Rahu is still here. So we're going to see more events in the sky, more fog, drones, aliens, agenda, fake agenda, Project Blue Beam, faking things in the sky to create a panic, extreme weather disasters. I also have a video on my channel about what's happening in the sky and how this relates to this nakshatra, and I go in depth to that, so you can check it out on my channel. Themes around aerospace and the depths of the oceans. This is a downpour of wisdom, and with this highlighting Jupiter, this gives us the deepest aspect of this. As Venus and Jupiter are making a mutual exchange, like I explained, people can receive knowledge that is so great that it has to be hidden from the masses. It's so powerful. So this can be Tantra, Mantra, occult sciences, occult secrets. The knowledge will give you a sudden rise in life. So that's going to depend on where this is in your chart, so you can check out where that is and where that knowledge can come from. But it also is going to depend on your individual chart, but it just in general. Any spiritual practice that you do during this time will be heightened, especially if you keep doing it during the eclipse when we have so many planets in Pisces. That's the time for enlightenment as well, so get ready for that. For the world, this can reveal the most secrets that we have ever seen. But remember, Rahu is here, so not everything that is revealed is the truth. There's going to be a lot of deception. They said that they were releasing the JFK tapes. Well, of course, they're not going to tell you the truth about that. So people are very naive thinking that they will. Aliens is another agenda that can be revealed so that the enemy becomes something outside of the world. So it's us against them. So the world has to come together. We need this one world government, essentially, which is a way to control the masses. This is a transformation, as it is the 8th house lord in the 1st house, if we consider Pisces the 1st house. So this transformation can be a result of your own efforts, as this is the 3rd house lord as well. This comes from the desire to be free from all bondage and to find peace. So there's going to be a lot of people around the world who will all of a sudden want this and want to disconnect from the control of the elites and the government. This is ruled by Saturn, which can help us to limit our desires of the physical world. So that's what we need for enlightenment, is to limit our desires, to detach from our desires. And Saturn also gives humility. There could be outing of misuse of charity. There could be the use of dark technologies, as Saturn is a Purva Bhadrapada on the masses. This is deception and nefarious practices by the elites, but this is great for acquiring resources, for family connections and values, artistic pursuits, and creativity. Now I'm going to go, the whole transit is not the same. It's going to depend on the padas. So I'm going to explain what each pada can do and the positive and negative karma that can come from it, and what you can do about that. Okay, so it'll go in the first pada, like I said, on January 31st until February 5th. So this pada is ruled by Leo, and so the padas are different segments of the nakshatra, different portions of the nakshatra, which are cut up in 4. So this one is about expansion of children, creativity, learning, mantra sadhana, romance, speculation, the mentality of leaders and leadership qualities, power, the throne. Now, we can see conflicts with leaders and authority figures, not getting appreciated from bosses or authority figures. Harsh words can happen, which can affect your reputation or lineage. I can see leaders doing this or having people clashing with them and opposing them. This can be also with teachers or gurus. Deviating from one's routine due to ego clashes can happen. Meditation will help this greatly. Helping others without expecting anything in return will help greatly. And we could also see overindulgence in materialistic pursuits and themes of trading and prostitution. Then on February 5th until February 10th, it goes into the second pada, which is ruled by Virgo. So that's when we see health matters pop up, themes of daily routines, work, conflicts. There can be themes of adultery, cheating, from extramarital affairs, breaking trust of a friend due to selfishness, facing problems and disputes from partners and the public, health issues, unfulfilling promises to teachers or gurus. So those are things that are all under your own control. So just make sure that you don't fall into this trap of karma. Then on February 10th until February 16th, we have it going into the pot of Libra, which will bring out themes of relationships, marriage, the law, society. Some can see an inheritance because the 8th house from Pisces is Libra. Some could be neglecting duties due to their desires. This is about a rich man who is cheating on his wife instead of performing his royal duties. Activities without morals and making intentional mistakes and misusing one's inheritance and resources on pleasure. Trouble with business partners due to one's own actions. So what you want to do is to make sure you appreciate what you have instead of trying to go outside of your marriage or outside of your commitments and screwing over the people that actually love you. Remember, during this time, it's Valentine's Day. Okay, so there's going to be a lot of conflict with people going out of their relationships, or it's acting like Jupiter here, or there's multiple relationships. So be cautious of that. Now on February 16th, then until March 14th, then we will have this in the Scorpio pada. So people can be getting a huge amount of wealth out of nowhere, but it has to be used for the right purpose. And this wealth can also be wisdom, not necessarily money, or it can be an abundance of something that you didn't work for, but it just came to you. But it's important not to break the trust of others and to return resources to the proper owner. Let's say if you find money, for example, and you know whose money this is, do not take it. There's severe karma that you will pay if you do that. So you have to return it. And also, if you gain money, you should always donate some of it. And also, do not use it for illegal purposes, because it's one of the karmas that can happen. Or people using the resources of their children when they should not be. Be careful of that. So then on March 1st, then Venus retrogrades until April 12th. That's why on March 14th, it's going to go back into Pada 3, then March 20th, Pada 2, then March 25th, Pada 1 again, and then March 31st, we're going back in Purva Bhaddara Pada. So all the themes I mentioned, they're all going to happen again. We're going to review them all. And then on March 25th, it's going to go back into Purva Bhaddara Pada for the last time, into the first and then second, third, fourth Pada again. And that's the final time that it will go into those. So these themes that you see in the first 4 Padas in the beginning, remember what they are, because you're going to go over them 3 times in total. So this is how we resolve issues, or things come into our life, karmas, and then we deal with it, and then we learn from it, we grow from it, and then we move forward. So it's very interesting transit, and we'll see what happens to everyone. And I wish you a really good transit. So thank you so much for listening. I appreciate all of you, and I'll see you in the next one.